My beautiful people. What's going on, guys? Um, Welcome back to another Washington Wizards basketball stream, man. And I haven't streamed in about a week. The Wizards haven't really gave me a reason to stream until now. Until now. What's going on over here? What's going on, Mackie? So I got a couple of things I want to talk about that's Wizards related actually today. Because the dang sure I don't feel like talking about the games. I mean, you guys already see what they're about when it comes to the product on the court. Um, Obviously, the news today that's going around Wizards Twitter and Wizards land is there was a interview done by the folks over at Title League. It's a really good interview, actually. You guys can go check it out. Their channel is called Title Tidal League. They had a interview with John Wall. Very incisive. Very incisive. John talked about basically coming up, school, high school, college, NBA, Rockets talk as well. So the Rockets fans have something to talk about on their side. It was a very insightful interview. A very good interview by the people over at Title. But yeah, so John Wall kind of opened up more about about the trade. He opened up more about the trade, and he basically said he found out through a DM for Russell Westbrook. So we all, as Wizards fans, know the timing of events that happened. So basically, John the video posted. He said he was with his friends or whatnot. He threw up some gang signs and got recorded. It got leaked on the net. Wizards weren't happy about it. He said he apologized, all that. He wasn't perfect. He's not perfect, but he apologized. But with the injury, John being injured, the team not doing well, the Wizards, the front office, Tommy, Ted, seemed like they were ready to move and shift to Bradley Beal and him being the face of the franchise, and seemed like they were pretty done with John and they were ready to move on from him.
Working out of facility.
And also, in a way, I feel like Bradley Beal was also kind of fed up with John and his incidents too. Excuse me. You had the with John being out of shape with the Rose Bar John Wall. You had the Team USA photo that went around. It was just a lot going on with John. So he had some issues. He definitely had some issues. But so basically the video dropped and he said Russell Westbrook DM'd him. He said Russell Westbrook DM'd him and asked for his number. He cool with Russ, but, they ain't on that level where they text each other and all that, where he got his number. So he gave Russ his number. Russ texted him or whatever and was saying, they try to trade me to Washington, but they say you're not trying to leave. And John like, what? Like, why would he try to leave? No. And John said he spoke to his agent, like, to see what was going on. Then he started hearing rumors. And then eventually he had a phone call with Brad to see what was up, basically saying, hey, Brad, are we running this back one more time or what we doing? And Brad was like, he got to think about it. And John was saying as soon as Brad said he had to think about it, he knew he was traded. Obviously, this answers the questions that we had 2 years ago about whether this was all Ted, the front office, or Brad had something to do with this as well. It was kind of suspected that the Wizards wouldn't make this kind of move without, talking to or involving Bradley Beal or letting him know what's going on. And hey, eventually John got traded, and he found out first about it from a DM from Russ. Russ asking for his number and Russ texting him or calling him or whatever and letting him know that, hey, they trying to trade you. They trying to get me over to DC, but they saying you're not trying to leave. I think it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts because I'm not here to absolve John for any of his issues or the things that he did not do or did incorrectly during the ending time. And, you know, a lot of fans at the time felt like the Brad John era maybe has run its course. I feel like it's all really about, and I get it's a business. I really do get it's a business, but it's especially with if you play a second with the Wizards and you come back, you'll get a tribute video. This is the kind of franchise we're talking about here. So I just feel like it's kind of crazy that, one, they didn't have enough respect for the man who brought their franchise back to relevancy, who's been there, you know, who took them out of the shadows of the gun situation with Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Critton, and all that foolishness, brought them back to relevancy, been there a decade. I can't believe that they didn't have the decency, Tommy and Ted, to be straight up with the man, call him, let him know, hey John, you know, we're looking to move on. We're looking to move into a different direction. Let them know straight up. You know, it's a business, but certain people, you know, who've built connections within the community, built connections with the city, you know, they deserve at least some kind of ounce of respect for the front office to be straight up with them, out of respect, and for them not to find out from somebody, a player DMing them, you know, or on the news or on SportsCenter or something, or from Shams or Woj on Twitter. You know, certain guys who do things for certain franchises, they deserve at least that amount of respect. You know, I just think, like I said, I'm not here to absolve. I don't think John should be absolved for any of his issues that he had towards the end. Obviously, we all know he was going through things with his mother, and her passing and all of that, as well as with the injury. But I mean, I just think the Wizards went about it all wrong. They handled it terribly. And guys around the league pay attention to stuff like that. They really do. You know, players, they pay attention to how franchises deal with certain players, or deal with players who fought through injuries and did all this for an organization, and they see how a team may just do them dirty. You know, players talk. You know? And first of all, this isn't like the Wizards already are the organization that players are really they're not climbing at all to get to, you know, come to. So when they see a guy who wants to be there, been there for a decade, and you just kind of brisk him to the side, and then he telling folks, Russ the one who told me, they ain't even had the decency to let me know. And you got Tommy Shepard over here lying, because John he said, don't let me put this jersey on before media day, and y'all about to trade me. You know, Tommy had the meeting or whatever, the little interview, said that everything's fine. That was a lie. Because like I said before, even through this season, I said Tommy's a liar. He's a scammer. He's a scam artist, and he's a liar. I've said that already this season. I don't believe nothing Tommy Shepard says. I don't believe a word that comes out of Tommy Shepard's mouth. And this is just further evidence as to why I've already thought Tommy Shepard was a liar. Because he is a liar. And he sucks. But, I mean, it's just, I don't have an issue with John being traded, right? Okay, like, it happens. Franchises lose their star players all the time. They get moved on from. But it's about how you do it. You know, for a guy who has built a legacy in the city, in the town, you know, they're due a certain amount of decency and respect. And the Wizards failed at that. Yeah, I mean, it's terrible, man. That's trash. That's really trash. Ted and Tommy should be ashamed of themselves for how they handled that whole little situation. Why is Russ being the first person to alert John of a possible trade? Why is Russell Westbrook the first person to contact him? Why is it not Ted? Why is it not Tommy? Why are they not sitting him down and letting him know straight up, we're looking to move on? I mean, Brad said, I mean, I don't know. You know, I got to think about it. But still, regardless, at the end of the day, it was up to Ted and Tommy to talk to John, call John, whatever, get in touch with his agent, and let him know what it was. I mean, it's they went about it so bad, and it's terrible. It's terrible how they went about it. And I'll say this again because I've said this before. I've said it again and I'll say it before. A lot of Wizards fans still talk about John Wall. And a lot of Wizards fans still wish John Wall didn't get traded. John Wall said in the interview, he said, when that happened, the whole city was mad. And they still mad. It's very true. You'll have Wizards fans that'll be like, get over it, move on, it happened, it's over, he's gone, blah, blah, blah. Which, okay, I can agree with. But, once again, I'll say, you can't be mad at the fans who are mad that John was traded or that still want John to come back or still miss John / talk about John, because what have the Wizards done throughout this time that John has been gone? They've done absolutely nothing. The Wizards have done absolutely nothing to grow from when John was here and injured to 2 years or so later. I mean, John's gone, and let's check notes. They're 6 right now. They have the 6th best odds in the lottery. Last season, they had the 10th best odds in the lottery. Or 9th, whatever it was last year. 10th or 9th. They got 1 season out of Russ. Got a gentleman sweep in the first round. Kuz is nice. But now we're at a point where Wizards fans feel like they should just move on from Kuz because this big three, the team just isn't constructed well. So you don't have the decency to tell your star player who's been here for a decade and built a relationship with the community. You don't have the decency to tell him, hey, we're moving on from you. Be straight up with him. Be straight up. Don't beat around the bush. Don't lie. Don't let him find out from other players or media. You don't have the decency to do that. Then the team is still in the same spot that it was back then. The team is no better than it was back then. You got 1 playoff run, and that wasn't a run, I'm sorry. 1 playoff stop. Thanks to the play-in. You got one playoff stop, gentleman sweep. Russ is split. He got up out of here. Kuz and everything was nice. It's nice. But now fans are saying maybe that time is come and gone. We should get something for Kuz. Who knows if Kuz wants to come back? Should we risk it? Should we? What Ted thinks? Ted's going to make every excuse known to man to try to, try to make this look like the future of the Wizards look like something other than a mess, which is what majority of the fan base think it is. That they think it's a mess, a directionless mess. And that's what majority of the people around the league probably feel about the Wizards. They're a directionless mess. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, you're right. You're right, Biggie, about the ESPN interview too. I remember that interview. He was like playing spades on the interview. I remember that interview you were talking about. He was getting interviewed, and then he was like playing cards or something on top of that during the interview. Like I said, John definitely had his role to play in it. I'm not mad that, I get it. It's a business. Sometimes trade happens. I just don't respect or agree with how they went about the trade and how everything went down. Moving on from John, like, okay, the Wall Bill era is over. You want to pivot to Bill, being the franchise guy, cool. At least have the decency to tell the man straight up. Let you guys be the first to tell him and let him know that, hey, we're moving in a different direction. So I'm not upset that they traded him. It happens. The way they went about it was terrible. It was trash. It was disrespectful to a person that brought the franchise back to relevancy after the Gilbert Arenas and the gun in the locker room stuff. And all that garbage. I mean, I just think they should have did better by him, regardless of how they felt about him at the time, or how Brad felt about him at the time, or if they were just over it. They still deserve. He still deserved some kind of respect and decency to be told straight up, like, and not, giving the runaround and all this. But yeah, I mean, John definitely had his own faults for sure. Like, I'm not trying to exclude him from none of that. He was doing things that he was going through things. He didn't do things probably as well as he should have, or that he should have done. He should have done. He wasn't doing things that he probably should have been doing. He shouldn't be, even if he didn't know. Shouldn't be throwing up gang signs. Shouldn't be playing cards in an interview. Shouldn't be at the Rose Bar and looking out of shape. There's a lot of things that he should have been doing differently. So I'm not here to exclude any of the issues that he was doing, because he had his part to play in it for sure. I'm just talking about mainly how they went about it. I don't agree with it. And I think a lot of people would have agreed that, a guy who's been loyal to a team for however long, especially when they're not a destination for other players to really come play for, that was bad. Also, I want to talk about the Wizards' attendance. Josh, you just brought it up about the clip in Curry, because I was pivoting into my next point. Thank you for the $1.99, Kevin. I appreciate you, bro. You said Bill was in cahoots with the front office to get Wall spot. Probably. Bill 100%. At the time, a lot of people assumed that he had something to do with it, because if he's about to be your new face of the franchise, there's no way you make this big of a move without his at least input on it. I ain't say he pressed the trade button, but I'm pretty sure he had his input. And then John told him, called, said we running it back or what? He said, I got to think about it. They say you got to think about it.
Ever
like John said, you already know what that means.
You getting
He ain't say yeah for sure. He said, I got to think about it. So you know what that means. But I want to talk about the Wizards and their attendance, right? We saw the Warriors game. We saw how many Warriors fans was in attendance. It was like they was in the Chase Center or whatever. Ain't that what it's called? It was like a real live road game for the Wizards at home. It was crazy. It was all you saw was blue and gold. It was nuts, right? So Neil over at Hoop District, he said he tweeted out, he said the Wizards remain last in the NBA home attendance percentage at 82.4% halfway through the season, even with announced sellout against the Warriors. He said they have the sixth worst average attendance in the NBA at 16,966. Only Indiana, OKC, Minnesota, Houston, New Orleans are worse. Right? So I feel like I've spoken about this before. See, people will say, well, if the Wizards win, they'll have more fans. And then people will be like, well, they were winning and that season where, Game 7 against Boston, they were winning in that season. And then also they were kind of gradually building up, first playoff series in like 2014-15 or 13-14 against the Bulls. The first playoff series, and then they were gradually building up. It's just, even with that, the Wizards were always like average. Like their regular seasons, they were like, let me look at their records. Let me look at the records back then. Let me go back to 2014-15. Like 2014-15, they were 46-36, right? I want to even go back before that. Let me go to 2013-14. 2013-14, they were 44-38, which is, it was good for the East at the time because the East weren't. This isn't flying now, obviously, as we see in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference was a significantly weaker conference back then, as opposed to what it is now. It's bumping now. They were 44-38. They were 22-19 at home in their 2013-2014 season. That was the first time they went to the playoffs. So, that was nice. But, you look at their record, their home record, Cool. 2014-15, 46-36, 10 games above 500. They were 29-12 at home. Better, for sure. Better. 5th seed, 10 games above 500. Definitely cool. All right. 2015-16. Bam. So that's 2 good seasons. You got 2 good seasons. This is after being terrible. You got 2 good seasons. And then 2015-16 hit. 41-41, 10th seed, missed the playoffs. I think, yeah, Randy Whitman gets fired. I believe that was his last season, I want to say. 2016-17 comes. I want to say, was 15-16 Randy's last season? I feel like it is. Let me look it up. Because I feel like once they got that 10th seed, he got fired. Yeah, it says 2012 to 2016. Yep. That was his last season. Scott Brooks comes in. They go 49-33. They're the 4th seed. They were 30-11 at home. That was the season. That was the season right there. That was the season. Game 7, Celtics. They were super. They was 30-11 at home. They was hot. They was hot. Okay. So what they do the next year? 8th seed. 43-39. 23-18 at home. 43-39. So they bumped off. They cracked off that one year. Didn't drop down to the 8th seed the next year. 2013-2014. First year they made it to the playoffs. Cool. 2013-2014. 5th seed. 44-38. Cool. That's lit. Next season. The next season. 46-36. Cool. Progressing. And then 2015-16, they missed the playoffs, 10th seed. So you got 2 seasons. You see growth. 2 seasons. And then they drop down to the 10th seed. You're like, all right. This Scott Brooks comes in, bam. 49-33, they lit. They lit. They get hot, they lit. They started off that season rough too, if I believe so, but they got hot. 49-33, almost a 50-win season. Bet. What they gonna do next year? Is this the start of something? Next season, drop off, lose, 8th seed, 43-39, lose in 6, I believe, to the Raptors in the first round. And then what happens the season after that? 2018-19, 11th seed. 2019-20, 9th seed. 2020-2021, 8th seed. Gentlemen sweep to the 76ers in the first round. 2021-22, 12th seed. 2022-23, 12th seed currently. What in there is missing? We talk about Wizards. We talk about the attendance. We look at a team like the Capitals, right? We look at a team like the Capitals. Right? Because I'm going to do a side by side. Because they're in the same arena. But it'd be looking different. And I feel like, we should know why. So like I said, I'll start with 2013-14 for the Wizards. Why did I just spell Capitals like that? Here we go. Okay. Right. Here we go. So, we have the Wizards. We talk about, even when they win, the fans don't show up. The Wizards, even in the John Bill era, the Wall Bill era, they lack consistency. They aren't consistent. They are not consistent winners. The Wizards they have to have more than just one season of winning to really show the fans that hey, this team is they're winners. This is what they do. They win. and they always win. They're usually, the product we know we're going to get is a winner, is a winning product. Right? So, even, like I said, 2013, 2014, 2015, when John and Brad was coming up, made the playoffs, first time, second time back to back. You think that's the start of something, and then drop off. It has been the same thing. So, like I said, 2013, 2014, first time, John, Brad make the playoffs, 44-38. Next season, 46-36. Small progression right there. Nice. You looking like you want to start of something. 2015, 2016, 41-41. Don't make the playoffs. You fire Randy. You hire Scott. So, bam. You missed the playoffs the very next year. That's disappointing. Bam. Scott Brooks, 49-33. 2016-2017 season. You're like, okay. What they about to do next season? Bam. Drop down. 43-39. 8th seed. Losing 6 to the Raptors. So it's like, okay. You was lit. Now you're not again. You came into the season. Because I remember that first game. The next season, I believe. After this correct me if I'm wrong. After this 2016-2017 season, the very next season, the home opener, I believe, was against the 76ers. I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. And the place was lit. It was lit. And he ended up not being that good. And losing in the first round to being the 8th seed. And then you have 2018-19, 32-50. John's hurt. 2019-2020, 25-47. 2020-2021, 34-38. Gentlemen sweep in the first round. 2021-2022, 35-47. Currently 18-26. Where's the consistency in that? Where's the consistency in that? There's no consistency at all there. Where's the showing the fans that this is a legit winning team? This is a legit winning product. Where is it? I guess they just expect fans to just show up because, hey, we're the Wizards and you're supposed to support this and buy tickets to continue to come see this team, even though you don't know what product you're going to get from year to year. You don't know what product you're going to get from the Wizards on a year-to-year basis. They had one spurt of progress from 2013-14 to 2014-15. Every other year, inconsistency. How are you going to maintain a fan base when they don't know what kind of product they're going to get on a year-to-year basis? So, let's look at the Capitals, right? Let's look at the Capitals. Let's look at their next door neighbors, because we see the difference night and day in the stadiums, right? Okay. You get Ovi, 05, 06, you get Ovi. 2007, 2008. 43-31. 2008, 2009, playoffs. 2008, 2009, 15-24, playoffs. 2009, 2010, 54-15, playoffs. 2010, 2011, 48-23, playoffs. 2011, 2012, 42-32, playoffs. 2012, 2013, playoffs. Didn't get there 2013-14. 2014-15, playoffs. 15-16, playoffs. 16-17, playoffs. 17-18, Stanley Cup. 18-19, playoffs. 2019-2020, playoffs. 2020-2021, playoffs. 2021-2022, playoffs. What's the difference there? What do the Capitals show and tell their fans in comparison to what the Wizards show their fans? What's the difference here? Why is the arenas different from the Capitals? I mean, obviously it helps when you have a generational talent in Ovechkin, obviously, but besides the point. What's the difference there, right? Playoffs. Miss. Playoffs. Stanley Cup. Playoffs. You look at the Wizards. John Wall, first year. Playoffs. Miss. Playoffs. Miss. Playoffs. Miss. Where's the consistency? I mean, I think that tells you all you need to know about the attendance right there with the Wizards. and why it's so different from the Capitals. The Capitals give their fans a consistent product. Capitals fans know what they're going to get on a year-to-year basis, which is playoffs and a pretty decent team. Obviously, a generational player helps, but regardless of Ovechkin, they know they're getting a winning product, and they know they're most likely seeing the playoffs. The Wizards, you don't know if you're going to get a good year this year or a bad year, and even if they have a good year, you don't know what you're going to get the next year, because it could be a decent year, and then the next year they suck. You don't know. You do not know. You do not know. You absolutely have no idea. And I mean, you look at the records. I mean, 50-24, 54-15, 48-23, 56-18, 55-19. Like, the team, they're winning. It's a lot of winning. It's a lot of first places out of this. It's a lot of first. It's a lot of first. Regular season finish within division. To answer your point, Jay, about hockey let almost the whole league into the playoffs. Regular season finish within division. First out of 5, first out of 5, first out of 5, first out of 5, second out of 5, first out of 5, 5 out of 8, second out of 8, first 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 out of 8, second of 8, fourth of 8. Like, they win. These dudes win. They win. Like, so, even with that, these dudes are winners. You get the Wizards. Second out of 5, second out of 5. Great. Fourth out of 5. Drop off. First out of 5. Great. Second out of 5. Fourth out of 5. Fourth out of 5. Third out of 5. Fourth out of 5. Third out of 5. I mean, it's a clear difference there. And I think that's the biggest difference. Capitals fans know the product they're going to get. They're going to get a consistent product. They're going to get a winning product. They know that. Washington Wizards fans, you don't know what you're going to get from this team. You don't know what you're going to get from this team on a year-to-year basis. You have absolutely no idea what you're going to get from this team on a year-to-year basis. I think that answers your attendance, the attendance question and dilemma right there. Consistency. Capitals, known winners. Known winners. Wizards, known middle of the pack, known bottom of the pack. That's it. Known to be inconsistent. And that's it. I think it's as simple as that, honestly. I think that's just the biggest difference right there, man. Easy peasy. But, yeah. I mean, those are the two main things I really wanted to hit. How have you guys been feeling about the team, man? About the games recently? If I pull up... You know, it hasn't been the best of times since that little 5-game winning streak that they had. It's been pretty rough, right? After winning 5 in a row, they went on a 3-game losing streak, beat the Bulls, and currently on a 2-game losing streak. Their next opponent is against the Knicks again. And we got the trade deadline coming up, and the team doesn't look that good. So, but we know the Wizards, and we saw reports as well that the Wizards want to keep Kuzma. They want to keep Kuzma. They would like to. They may risk letting him opt out and trying to re-sign him in the offseason instead of trading him. I've seen a lot of Wizards fans say, let's just trade him. You know what I mean? But not the Wizards. Not the Wizards. I don't know. The team is looking to be buyers when we always, every single offseason, we feel like they should be sellers. They end up trying to be buyers. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's always like this by the deadline for us. We feel like we should be sellers. The team wants to be buyers, though. I mean, there's nothing new here. There's nothing new. Like, why, like, to ask where I've been, why I haven't been streaming as much, honestly, bro, this team is just so Like, I have no interest in really watching them, bro. At all. I don't. Like, I don't be tuned into every game anymore. I don't. There's just no point. I mean, this team, the product they're giving me, it's the same. It's the same as it always is. It's the same as it always is, man. Period. My interest in this team has drastically declined. I mean, the season looks the same as about every other season. I'm not that interested in it. I'm just not. So, people say, well, if you don't like it, you don't watch, you don't sit and complain. So I haven't. I haven't been just getting on here just to get mad, just to complain about the same old. I may hop on here like once a week, but I mean, come on, man. This product is the same product they always give us. It's the same product they always give us. It's no difference here. Kevin, I know you gotta feel bad, man. It's like, y'all was supposed to be a part of this, man. Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, y'all was supposed to be a part of this. It's like we bought plates, we bought extra food, we bought plates and we bought food. We bought extra. We bought extra food. We bought extra utensils.
I ain't never
extra
ever
everything.
See you act
Appreciate
like
the
this before.
$1.99 again,
You
Kevin.
getting buckets. How you feel?
Hear me out. You done RSVP. Y'all RSVP'd. Y'all +1, and y'all didn't show up. The event date is here, and y'all aren't here. Why is that? Cowboys made it. Giants made it. We was here. Where are y'all at? We done prepared. We bought extra food and supplies for y'all. And y'all just are nowhere to be found. I find that quite interesting. Good luck on whatever y'all gonna do at quarterback, though. Wentz didn't work out. Who would have figured? Hey, man. It sucks to not be in the NFC East party, I guess. Outside looking in at all the other NFC East teams, man. I don't know. It feels. I figure that's a pretty lonely feeling. Good luck getting Lamar too. Y'all can keep on keeping on and wishing. Keep on keeping on and wishing, man. I hope so. Biggie said we definitely need a PG. I would get rid of Rui Diddy, Kispert, Lomo, Barton, and Morris for Van Vliet, for Toronto. Yeah, we've been talking about what's just needing the PG once again. Another season, another period in time of us talking about, like, that's what I'm saying. This is why my interest is just so low in the Wizards this season, and why I just haven't streamed as much. I had my spurts where I was just really angry and complaining, but I'm not about to keep complaining about the same things. A lot of the discourse I see on Twitter is just the same things. It's the same talk, just different roster. It's different roster, same talk. I mean, it's just boring, bro. It's boring. It's disinteresting. I mean, I will just see what they do at the deadline, I guess. I don't know. Biggie said Roger decided to bring his ex-wife. They kicked her out the party. He said with D with Roger Wall available, which one would you go for or go get both? I don't. Kevin, I honestly don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm happy y'all have. I hope one of y'all trade ideas work out. Maybe it comes to fruition. But, I mean, for me, this team is cooked. Jay, you said, I'm feeling pretty good. They need time to grow as a unit. KP and Kuz have only played 60 games together. KP, Kuz, and Bill only 25 games together. These better squads have hundreds of games. And that's the thing, Jay. You would hope that the team eventually becomes healthy and are able to play together, but who's to say that this team is ever going to be healthy? It's like the Clippers. Look at the Clippers. Are they ever going to be healthy? I mean, it could be true. You could be very true. I mean, you're very right on that. They haven't played that many games together. And I said going into this season, I said one of the things that needs to go right for this team to be 6th seed or whatever we was talking about earlier in the offseason, I said the team needs to be healthy. They can't be in at a certain spurt for a certain amount of times and then be gone and then in and then gone. And that's exactly what it's been. It's exactly what it's been. I mean, who's to say that the injury bug will ever go away? Who's to say if Bill comes back then KP strains something or Kuz strains something? Who's to say that? Who knows? We could be talking about them if they could finally be healthy all season. You know, it's like the Nets and Kyrie, Harden, and KD is like, what if this and that and they're both healthy at the same time? Even before the COVID thing. James, KD, and Kyrie never played that many games together because it was always hurt. One of them was always hurt. So, I mean, that could always be a thing. Princey said not going to lie, that news about Hallie. Thinking he would be in DC, maybe move some furniture. Yeah, that's also some news. A thing. Tyrese Halliburton said that he thought he was going to the Wizards. And Denny was available. The Wizards pivoted to Denny. They thought he was going to be gone, I'm pretty sure. He was there. They ended up going Denny over Tyrese. And the Wizards still need a point guard. And you said they set a new low with Johnny Davis this year, though. It's mad impressive that you can be so mad at so many things. The Johnny Davis thing, I mean, they just... I don't know, guys. This is why I tell you, I'm glad y'all are still in it. Y'all still feeling it. I mean... Me, I'm disinterested in this franchise, bro. I'm going through the motions with this team, man. Like I'm not dying to watch these games. I'm not dying to catch these games. I'll tune in. I'll check the stat box. I mean the scores. But other than that, I'm not pressed to watch these games because I'm not about to sit here and keep watching something that's gonna make me mad. I'm not gonna continue to do something that makes me mad. Or watch something that makes me mad. I'm not going to do it. Like, at the beginning, I was upset. I would get upset. I would get angry. That's because I had hope for the team still. I had hope for the outcome still and the outlook of the team. But now, I'm seeing what it is. Who knows if this team's ever going to get healthy. We may be saying, if we could just get healthy, and we may be saying that for the rest of this season. Who knows? But, I mean, until that day happens, I'm not tripping right now off these dudes. And I have no interest in really watching these dudes, man. I mean, Kuzma being like 6 out of front court players, out of forwards, he being like 6 of the voting is cool. I keep voting for Kuz. I want somebody to get in for the Wizards. So it'll be nice if Kuz can get in. But, hey. Right now, The Wizards are like right in between playing eligibility and being top 5 for Victor. You know, Orlando is sitting here at 16-28. The Wizards are sitting here at 18-26. So, oh man, I don't know. I mean, if they get hot, they could get to a play-in spot. If they keep going on this stretch, they can end up being top 5 at the moment. But I don't know. San Antonio, Orlando, and them are pretty bad. But, oh no, man. I don't know. But yeah, as far as like the trade machine ideas and all that, I mean, I don't really have thoughts on them or players of interest because I'm just over the team at the moment. I have no interest in this team at the moment. And right now, this season is looking like about how I thought it would go. How, yeah. So I'm not about to sit on here and just watch the game to get mad. I guess for content. Like, no. I'm not about to do it. I don't know, man, but yeah, I wanted to just get on here and talk about the John Wall situation in that interview. If you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. It's on Title League, their YouTube page. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the Wizards attendance thing, and Yeah. Um, but yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure to like the video if you haven't. That always helps. But yeah, their next game is against the Knicks. The Knicks have turned it up. They've definitely impressed. They seem like they're getting it together a lot currently, but the Wizards, I just don't know, man. I just don't know when it comes to this team. It's the same issue, different roster. Every single season, it's the same issues, just a different roster. Same issues, different roster. I mean, hey, when is it ever going to change? I'm not doing Denny or Rui. I'm not picking one. I refuse to get into this Denny Rui debate. I'm not doing it. They both have their flaws. They both have their issues. They both have their upsides. BZ said, yo, Wizards taking L's every day. Yeah. Jay said, I'm really surprised. Did not see the injuries of Brad catching the C. Come back, bro, the year C. It's, man, I don't know. I just want the team to be consistent. I don't want them to just be good, right? I want them to be consistently good. I want them to be consistently good. That's what I want. I don't want the Wizards to just be good for a season or 2 seasons. I want them to consistently be good. That's all I want. That's all I want. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for me, man. Wizards Knicks on Wednesday. Hope the Wizards get a dub. But other than that, man, I don't got nothing much else to say about these dudes. I don't. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Just wanted to get my thoughts out on these things. Talk about it. See what you guys thought about it. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the donations, Kevin. Hopefully the Wizards get healthy. I think that's all I can really say on them. But well, or hope they lose. Or hope they lose. Whatever the agenda you pushing for is the same agenda I'm pushing for. I hope if you want them to lose, if you want them to win, I hope they win. If you want them to lose, I hope they lose. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore with this team. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me, man. I love you guys. If you still watching every Wizards game, man, shout out to you. You're a strong dude, man. You're stronger than me. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Have a good night. Have a good rest of the day. Lennon, you said, when are you gonna stream games? I literally don't know because I have no interest in watching. When I'm interested in watching games again, whenever that will be. When they give me a product that I want to consistently watch, that's when I'll start watching games again. When the team consistently gives me a product that I feel like watching, because they've done beat me down so much that I don't even feel like watching them no more. Measy, that's facts. Prince, the Eagles Jazz last week. I don't even know if I'm gonna be home. I may be out watching that game. I may be out when that game comes on. And I'm gonna either be very angry or very happy. Omir said, okay, it's another feature. Hey, man, you never know, too, yeah. Omir could be right. We could get Vicky. You never know. You never know. But, yeah, man, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go, Hurts. Let's get that W. Eagles going to the NFC Championship, baby. Talk to you guys later, man. Love you guys. Have a good rest of the day and or night. In peace.